everyone, welcome to this video on my channel, and I will be giving you my thoughts on the announcement yesterday as of recording that Carlos Queiroz has been appointed as the new manager of the Iran national football team. Now, I recently had this idea that I'm leading up to the World Cup. I'm going to be covering some of the major moments that happen within each of the teams in Group B, England's group. Just give my thoughts. I thought it'd be a nice little thing to do. I'm not going to cover Jordan Pickford injury because that's only going to keep him out for the Nations Leagues. No pun intended, by the way. But as of now, he'll be good to go to play for the World Cup. But as for the video on hand, not something I saw coming, despite some of the popular voices from Iran that wanted to have Carlos Queiroz back. For those who don't know, Carlos Queiroz got appointed as the manager of Iran about 2013-14, that kind of time. He managed Iran in 2 World Cups, including finishing 4th for 1 point in Brazil 2014. But then 4 years later, they showed more of what they could do by narrowly missing out to Spain and Portugal with a 3rd place finish of 4 points, having beaten a pretty good Morocco team and got a draw against Portugal and weren't far off getting another point against Spain as well. Since then, I'd say, he also managed in 2 Asia Cups, which included a knockout against rivals Iraq. Since Queiroz left, both parties have kind of been at a worse, but then better, but still not that great connection that they used to have. Queiroz went to Colombia. It was a disaster there. Couldn't get much results out of Colombia, and also included a 6-1 loss away at Ecuador and a 3-0 home defeat to Uruguay. So, and Iran under Mark Wilmots, they had some bad results, including a loss away at Iraq and couldn't score away at Bahrain, which they lost that game, albeit it was just a penalty. But Iran needed something fast, and I guess the pandemic did help them. But they brought in Dragan Skocic, who took Iran from 3rd to 1st, winning every game in that group that Iran were in. And then Iran finished 1st in what was a fairly comfortable group, which got them qualification. And around the same time, Carlos Queiroz, he'd taken Egypt to an Africa Cup of Nations final and also to the final round of the World Cup qualifiers. But still, it didn't feel like the same magic was there when he was at Egypt as when he was with Iran. I had Iran finishing 2nd in this group, but I could certainly understand why some people wouldn't, or maybe even have them bottom. But Skocic is a good coach. I think they still would have had enough. But now that Queiroz is at Iran, this makes it a lot more tougher for USA and Wales to get to 2nd. They're still within a shout, but it's less of a tight race and more that I think Iran has an extra step in their chances of getting to qualify, because obviously Iran has a good keeper and a great strike partnership of Taremi and Azmoun. But defensively, against some teams, they weren't always the best. I mean, they did have I believe it was a 15 clean sheet record, albeit most of them were against teams they should be beating. But it counts for something. But the best team they played was South Korea, which is about up to Iran's standards. But then also there were some games where the Iran fans haven't been too pleased with their defense. But Carlos Queiroz, any problems Iran might have had defensively, he's going to sort that out. He's a great defensive coach, great coach in general. Iran's going to be solid at the back like they were in the last World Cup, in the first two games of the 2014 World Cup. And this time they're going to have Taremi and Azmoun with Jakambash in behind on the attacking side. With the defense behind those three players, it's going to help Iran a lot. Would I have got rid of Dragan Skojcic or no? Thought he was good enough for the job, although there is still some respect that was gone to Dragan Skojcic as he left. But Carlos Queiroz is certainly an upgrade, and it does make sense for Iran to appoint them. They're going to strengthen, and they're going to be much harder to beat now, as if they weren't hard enough, which was beatable, but certainly not a team to write off. Now it doesn't look good for USA and Wales, and I'm not as confident as an England fan of beating them, because now they're going to be defensively tight. It's going to be harder to break them down, and we'll certainly see what England's attack has against the defense of Iran. Overall, I think this is a good appointment for Iran. Not something I saw coming, but it makes sense. And who knows? Maybe they could pull an upset should they go to the knockouts. Iran obviously targeting for that last 16, and the fact that they've got a much better chance than what they did last time. And I guess they exploited that by bringing Queiroz in and the opportunity that he wasn't in a job. This is a good appointment. Iran's chances are going to be boosted, and I think they might be second favourites to go through now. But yeah, these are my thoughts. Probably haven't said as much as I thought I would do about Queiroz specifically. He's going to make Iran a good team, and this England versus Iran game is going to be an interesting one, and I'm going to be there to see it. See you guys in the next video.